There will be a day that will either break you or rebuild you. And that day is the day you realize that you are replaceable, that you are not special, and that you were never the only option, and that you were holding nothing in place. That day will hurt you because your ego has been feeding you a story for your whole life that you matters more than others and that they can't do anything without you and that you are different. Whilst in reality, you were just performing. You were holding nothing together. You were just part of a system. Most people try to run away from this realization by distracting themselves through chasing validation and trying to feel important over and over again. But just a handful of people really accept this realization and everything changes for them. Once you accept that you are replaceable, you stop begging to be chosen. You will stop over explaining yourself to people. You will stop shrinking to keep a seat at someone else's table. When you understand that you are replaceable, you will get to know that if you can be replaced, then you can also replace people. That is where your power starts. That is where you move differently. That is where you start building a skill that no one can ignore. That is where you start building discipline that does not depend on motivation. That is where you build a life that does not collapse when someone walks away. That is where you stop being liked or you stop trying to be liked and start becoming valuable. Not emotionally valuable, not temporary usefulness, real value. The kind of value that solves problem. The kind of value that creates opportunity, the kind of value that commands respect without asking. And that is where the shift that completely destroys your ego begins or happens. You don't need to be irreplaceable to win. You just need to be so solid that if you leave, the gap is felt. Not because you are special, but because you showed up differently. Don't run away from the truth. You are replaceable.